Silk. Remember, Silk. Silk is my age. He was at UCLA the same time I was at North Carolina, and Silk was like the third, fourth option. Kareem was definitely the first option.
Right.
When I got there, it was Kareem. Then it became Magic was an option. Norm Nixon was an option. And they were bringing me off the bench. When they brought me off the bench,
well, just hypothetically speaking, if you both got there, you both were 21 years old, and you both were rookies. Would you felt like you would have been more of a number one option than he would have been?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because you don't put a 3-time scoring leader in the back of an option.
I got you.
That's why one of my coaches got fired in Detroit, because when I got traded to Detroit, my 7 or 8 year average was about 30 a game. And he was too busy kissing up to Bob Lanier, who was Mr. Detroit, and he never put me and Bob Lanier on the same side. He'd have me on the weak side, and I couldn't understand. I said, "You got a 30-point per game guy, and you got me on the opposite side." That didn't make no sense. But that just shows you how politics is. Politics is not only in the world, it's in basketball, tennis, football. You got to deal with that kind of stuff.
I know. I said 2 questions. I'm sorry. 2 more, and I'm done, Bill. I promise you, I'm done.
All right, take your time, but we going off the rails today. Okay. But we off the rails today.
To answer that question about Wilkes and Mac.
What do you think, Mr. Sparrow?
Mac's a better shooter, bro. The option over him over Wilkes that's a no-brainer, man.
Okay. It was a little bit before my time, so I was doing some homework and I wanted to find out who was the better scorer between the two. If you played one-on-one during practice, who would have won those battles? That's kind of what I was asking.
I'm pretty sure we gave him 40.
No contest.
You probably would have gave him 40 going to 16 one-on-one.
Look at the scoring titles compared to him. And you tell me, you can answer that yourself.
No contest.
That's a no-brainer.
I wanted to hear it from your mouths just to get it.
No contest.
So the other question, and this one,
he a Hall of Famer.
Mr. Hall of Famer, Mr. Mcadoo, Mr. Sparrow. This question is, I guess, for both of you guys. And this one's not a layup. This one's a little tougher. And just from doing some research and homework with I believe you played with Dr. J with the Virginia Squires. Is that correct?
No. That Virginia Squires is in the ABA. I played with Julius my last year in Philly.
In Philly. Okay. Okay. I'll scratch that question then. Sorry about that. The next question would be your preference from coaching the NBA versus playing in the NBA. And what I mean by that is, how would you rate your level of enjoyment with playing with Magic on one end and then coaching LeBron and D Wade? If you had to choose which one was more enjoyable, coaching LeBron and D Wade, or enjoying playing with Magic and the Lakers during the end of their Laker run?
It was probably more enjoyable playing because I felt like I had more of an impact on the game playing and coaching. You're helpless. You're helpless. Your players got to do it for you when you're coaching. When you out there on the court, you feel like you've got some juice on what happens in the game, depending on how you playing,
Right. Understandable. Understand. I asked that because I know both of those runs, the one with the Lakers when Showtime was going on, and then with the Heatles, with the Miami Heat, those are great runs. So I just wanted to find out from your perspective, which one was more, enjoyable from your end.
What was your hardest matchup
Incredible.
in the NBA for you, Mr. Mcadoo? Who was the one guy that gave you problems? If there was one.
No, I got better.
I didn't have too many guys. Bobby Jones, me and Bobby Jones, we had played against each other since high school. He was, Bobby is a 9-time all defensive player. And
that's my guy.
Oh, he knew your game.
Yeah, he kind of knew my game. And y'all gotta excuse me. I'm back and forth because it's 28 seconds left and UM is up.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh yeah, we watching the same game.
We watching the same game.
Watching the same game.
Right there.
It's okay.
You don't have to turn your head. Just look up right behind my shoulders, right there.
28 seconds. I'm down here in Miami. I got to go for my Miami guys.
I got you.
And they the underdogs. If they can get this, that'll be big.
For real.
Oh, that was a hit on. But
this going into overtime.
But since we watching the game together, Mr. McAdoo, what do you? My dad cannot stand Michael Irvin's hair. What do you think of it?
Michael Irvin's hair?
Yeah, his hair. We just had this conversation before we got on air.
No, he's okay.
I can't. We on air right now. I can't say what I want. What he said. He need to cut that.
Hey, it's the brothers out here got so many hairstyles now. Let them run with what they want to do.
Let them run.
I don't bother nobody. When I was younger, I didn't like bald heads, but I can't help it now because I'm 70 something.
Let it be natural, baby.
There's a reason why I got this hat on.
We're natural. We're natural.
Well, I thank God that I still got something to hang on to.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I'm not taking this hat off though.
No. The only thing I kind of squint at is when I see guys that's got the tattoos all over their neck and all over their arms, and especially if you see a beautiful woman and she's got tattoos all over the place.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that just turns me off for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm from you see, I'm like ancient. I'm like Jurassic Park. When we saw tattoos, we thought that was a redneck or a motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
We just
Angels.
didn't do that. And I'm closer to the plantation than most of you guys. And you guys don't know about the branding of slaves and all that. These young kids, they don't know that. That kind of turns me off a little bit. If you got a small one and it's done tastefully, okay. But when they got it all over their stuff, all over their arms, all over their legs,
1,000%, Mr. McAdoo, 1,000%.
Mr. McAdoo, I messed up on my question earlier. I said Dr. J. I didn't look down and read what I wrote down. I meant to say George Gervin. I understood you played with George Gervin in the NBA. Is that correct?
I played against George.
Against George.
I played against.
So I guess, what, in your opinion, when you went up against those teams like the Kentucky Colonels, what was the toughest reason, or one of the reasons why they kept winning that ABA championship? Was it because of artists, or was it something else? Or
they had a great team. Artists.
They had a great team. They had hostess.
I can't believe Miami just went into Texas and beat them.
That's tough to do.
That is big. What do you say?
I mean, you can clap this week. You won't be clapping next week.
Who's the matchup next week?
Yes.
Somebody that Miami don't want to probably see.
Yes.
Now, just so happens that I have a George Gervin All-Star jersey on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 44.
Let me tell you, George, they traded me that year that I was going for my 4th scoring championship. And that was George's first scoring championship in the NBA. So I kind of hated that they didn't keep me in Buffalo, because Buffalo were my guys, and they were always looking for me. It's just, when I look back, I said, man, that was.
I fell in love with this bum when he was at Buffalo. That's when I fell in love with him.
Was that finger roll really like that?
When he's
that finger. Hey, what we used to get on Kareem, because he'd have Kareem almost jumping out of his skin, trying his best to block that finger roll. He never could get it.
You can't get it.
As a prolific scorer for yourself, from listening to some of your answers, you telling me that you were a better scorer than this person, or you would have done this if the three-point line existed. Do you feel, with so many players today being three-level scorers, do you feel you would have been one of the, in today's game, you would have been one of the ones that's like a Durant or Carmelo that's a consistent three-level scorer, inside, mid-range, three-point shooter?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll answer that for sure. I'll answer that.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. That question was for both of you guys. I'm sorry.
I'll answer that for sure. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I had a mindset because I played center most of my career in Buffalo. I was quicker than all the 6'11", 7-footers.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people would put their power forwards on me, and I'd be quicker than them. Then they start putting their small forwards on me. You know, they would put Julius Erving, Bobby Dandridge, people like that, and they were too small. I would go inside on them, you know, so I had something mentally that, you know, kept me above the fray, above defensively. That's why Bobby Jones was so good, because Bobby was 6'9", and he was agile like a deer. And we knew each other from playing in high school and we played in North Carolina together too. But I mean, I still, you know, I gave him a tough road. It was always 30 plus points, but he made me really work for those 30.
So in essence, you're saying your game was kind of before its time.
Absolutely. I think that's why I was able to play. When you add my 14 years in the NBA and 6 over Europe, I had 20 years of playing, and you definitely had to have an outside shot over in Europe, because you know, most of the teams over there play zone, so you can't just post up, because if you post up, you got 2 men around you all the time. So it helped me tremendously being an outside shooter over in Europe.
All right, the question I have for you, you mentioned Bobby Jones, you mentioned George, the Iceman Gervin. I want to know from the Hall of Fame himself, who was that one guy that really got you, that gave you that, you know, that welcome to the big time, that lets you know that the difference between the college and the pros? Who was that one guy that got you? Just like Jake Paul last night, he got his welcome to the big time moment last night. We're gonna talk about that later.
Well, my rookie year, my eyes got this big because I happened to be out on the floor with the great Wilt Chamberlain.
Woo! Wow.
I seen Wilt. I remember my father took me to the Greensboro Coliseum when I was in the 8th grade, and I saw 2 legends. I saw Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. And my rookie year, 72, was his last year. I think Wilt was 35 years old. Just being out there on the court against him was just a mind-boggling thing to me, because he's always been larger than life, you know.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, it was nothing he did against me that said welcome to the league. Is what I saw him do to other people. I saw him back Elmo Smith back down and dunk on him. And Elmo Smith was the leading block shocker. He was the leading block shocker in the league at that time. And he backed him down and just dunked on him. And the way he dunked it, it went through the net and bounced back up over the rim. That's how powerful it was. That's why it gets me today when I hear these people talking. I hear Stephen A. Smith and all these people talking about the greatest this and that, and you don't mention Wilt Chamberlain. You got to be crazy. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50. He averaged 50, 30, and 10, and you don't even talk about him? Are you crazy?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think he gets that because of the competition he went against and because of the amount of losses he had in the finals. And I'm not saying I count that against him, but that's what a lot of pundits or uh, uh, sportscasters do. You know, they count what did you win?
Yeah,
What
you
was
don't.
the
Yeah,
final?
I know. They try to say, you know, you're not great, this and that, if you don't have a championship. I don't agree with that. You're going to
I
tell
don't agree
me
with it at all.
Patrick
At all.
Ewing,
At all.
Barkley.
Charles Barkley,
At all.
Malone that
At
was in
all.
Utah. You're going to tell me these not great players? Those guys don't have championships on their resume.
You can't say it. You can't
You
say
know?
they ain't.
Since we're talking about great players without championships, what are your thoughts on the Chris Paul situation?
That was not a good look, I think, for the Clippers. You know, you give the guy, you know, let him retire, you know, with dignity and grace. You know, that was just put him on waivers like that. And I mean, but you know, I don't know the financial situation. You know how it gets. You know, when people trying to dump contracts and stuff. I don't know behind the scenes.
But isn't that like a move you would do for like a player that's going to the G League though?
To just cut him?
Yeah, well,
Or just
not
put him on
cut him, but
waivers?
send them down to the gym league or send them to the waivers in the midnight hour like that. Isn't that
that was not a classy thing to do.
Okay.
But I mean, we don't have to talk politics, but you see all the classless stuff that's just happening in America now. You know, I mean,
Right.
we've seen it all. You know, anything can happen
I
in
read
sports. You know what I'm saying?
I seen some where they was talking about it. Like he was having problems. Like he would try to coach the players on court, and Ty Lue ain't like that. It was a lot. It was a lot of.
I think it was more suggestions, not changing the plays or anything like that.
Still, you know,
I think Jeff Van Gundy was the one who got upset about it, took umbrage with it, and
yeah, you gotta kind of chill. You know, we have no say so in where we go. You know, as players. I mean, you know, for what I did in Buffalo, if I was in the league now, I probably would have retired in Buffalo, which is now the Clippers now. But you know, they were shipping me around to different teams. I had no say so in that matter. You know,
You mean like free agency?
Maybe Chris over. You know, he was too bullying with the players. The coaches feel threatened because he's a veteran player. You never know. You know, those dynamics are working in organizations too. A lot of times the coach, he's not, you know, you've seen all the football players and basketball players over the years, when they get to join and stuff too much, they usually get rid of them.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you, since we're talking about coaching. You've seen Wilt Chamberlain up close and personal, and this is for Mr. Sparrow, you as well. You've seen Wilt Chamberlain up close and personal, and you've actually coached Shaq up close and personal.
Mm-hmm.
If those two had met up in their prime, would Shaq have had his way with the Hall of Famer, Mr. Chamberlain, or would it have been the other way around? What would be your opinions, both of you?
It's hard to say. Both of them were physical specimens.
Yeah.
You know,
Physically.